There we go. Okay, I'm gonna give our show a little intro and we can start the interview, okay?
Yep.
West World, it's your boy Young YC, Young Cal, coming straight at y'all with another special edition of CALi. And right now, we're doing something a little different. And I'm being honored with the goddess, globetrotter, and model freelance herself, Miss Anastasia. How are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm feeling awesome and I'm very happy to be here. It's also a new experience for me. So I would say let's just cut to the chase and get to it. Because
Absolutely. I'm glad we've been able to do this. I'm thanking you for your time right now because, I know we've been, trying to make this happen for a while. But you're right. Let's cut to the chase. You and I have never been one for small talk. You and I were supposed to do this actually last weekend, and you got stuck at an event. I'm always here for the party stories. So, I mean, can I hear about the party last weekend? It sounded like it was
yeah.
lit.
So it was my friend's birthday and they actually from Ukraine, and I have not seen her for like 9 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So when the after party request came on the table, I was like, okay, I try to leave, but I realized that I'm not sure when I'm gonna see her like again.
Right.
So I went to the club and I realized I couldn't leave on time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just, you know what I've like learned? Chicago is really loves its alcohol.
Yes, true story. Mm-hmm. Talk about
it. Yep. And so people you meet around yourself will most likely will offer you something to drink or to participate at such events. That's what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's great. Have you ever been to Chicago?
No, I haven't had the opportunity, or the privilege to do that yet. But you know what? Thank you for giving me a heads up because I'm gonna keep that in mind now whenever I'm going to, whenever I go to an event in Chicago. Because, yeah, I have those problems out here in Cali already. I can't leave an event in time, but I'm no stranger to it whatsoever. But yeah, that was my first question. I know we're, like I said, we're going to be doing something a little different here. Usually it's just me interviewing the guests, but you definitely did, say that you wanted to ask me a few questions,
Right.
So instead of truth or dare, we're going to do truth for truth right now. So, I'll let you ask your first one.
So before I could even come up with one, I would prefer, if you don't mind, let's say that you mentioned my event, and I would like to ask, so what do you do? Because I also see you at various events with various celebrities, music artists and acts. So would you mind to share about your what are you doing? I don't even know.
You know what? You're not the first person to ask me this question, and it's always asked in that, in that same way, it's in that same fashion. Like, what have you been up to? What do you do?
Just like you are everywhere, like you are in the music, you are here. I think you posted a couple of your songs. Then, what are you doing? You're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in our terms, we call it grinding, we call it hustling, basically for me, my entire life, I've always been, that first as a music artist, but actually, you know what, even before that, I've always been a fan, of the hip hop culture just in general, which made me want to become an artist. And, when you're in this business, especially nowadays, you can't have, just only parts of the hustle, covered. You have to have them all covered. And one thing that I was taught to me was you can't stay in one place on a paper chase. So wherever I can be of service, and support the movements, in my community that that I believe in and that I feel like are built in a positive energy, like I'll definitely always be there. So I started off just doing music first and foremost, but also I had to be outside at certain events, just networking with others, just
Right.
getting to know people, allow myself to be seen, and just, I said, I'm kind of inspired by you in that sense, because speaking of being everywhere, That's kind of like where you and I think you and I see eye to eye in our chemistry is that we can't stay in one place for too long. We have to be out here in different places, and then it just with that comes meeting different people, and that's part of that's part of the game itself. It's not sometimes like it knowing stuff always helps. As that old saying goes, it's not what you know, who you know, but
Oh
knowing a
yeah.
lot helps as well. So I've been honored and just privileged to be able to meet different people. One of which you and I will speak of about a little bit later. But just to answer your question, I started off as an artist first, but then I ended up becoming, as you can see right here, like part of the hustle now was being a podcaster. So, I grew to, doing my own show, CALi, which kind of took on a life of its own. I'm
Congratulations with
definitely
that.
Thank you, thank you. I started my own brand, which I had to. If I'll do my own shameless plug right now, Young World. I started my own brand, clothing wise. So I've been moving merchandise, a little bit everywhere out here in Cali as well.
I
Um,
just wanted to
um,
note how I like really feel in your attire. It's
oh,
really beautiful. I love your
yeah, thank you
t-shirt.
so much. You know what? That's an honor coming from you. Whenever you decide to come back to Cali, I'll definitely have some merchandise set
Oh, I'll
aside
be
for you.
honored.
But yeah, everybody go, at Young World, on Instagram, Young World brand, go place in your orders now. On top of that, I'm definitely deep and passionate within the battle rap community, which, has
Yes.
definitely treated me like family since I've stepped in, and everyone, has like I said, that's a reason. One of the questions that I will get into a little bit later. There's someone in that community, the greatest of all time, who you and I have a
Yep.
mutual loved one in.
Yep.
So, yeah, GTX, the Battle League is definitely one of the brands that I'm also pushing as well, and I'm honored to be involved in that. So, being involved in all of this just kind of takes me everywhere. That's why you see me, like I said, as you said, at different events, at different in front of different people, around a lot of different just crowds in general, and it kind of, like I said, it kind of took on a life of its own. That's all, but just in layman's simple terms, I'm an artist first, always, but that's why I'm so blessed to have so many people who want to see me do well in in different parts of the entertainment business. So I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades, and I would love to definitely work with you one day whenever you're back in you're back in our soil. So
Absolutely. I feel like, once I have a product to offer, we could definitely work this through because me personally, I am just like a lot of millions of other people, but come on, why not?
mm,
I'm writing a book. I'm about to finish it, and I'm realizing that.
yeah.
So, so you remember the actors' protest?
Hmm.
And in regards to, like, for example, I feel like the future lays in the movies like Avatar, AI actors, and that is the whole concept. And also, I'm realizing that, okay, if I want to shoot a movie by my book, because who reads books these days? Not that many
Ah,
people. We love
yeah,
visuals.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them, but I hear what you're saying.
And I
Absolutely.
respect you for that. And I
Hmm.
absolutely could see the way you articulate, the way you speak, your vocabulary. I could tell you read books. But I don't feel like it's common. And okay,
Right.
maybe it's common for some other reason, but for entertainment wise, I feel like now it's more visual because our senses are so like used up in a way that now we need something more powerful to impress, okay?
Hmm.
And I feel like okay, if I go with animated something, that if it can move, it could be visual, it's better than a book. So I thought, oh my god, I would love to shoot a movie. Oh my god, finally in LA or in America first. America
Hmm.
first,
Absolutely.
because it's not that simple to get in here if you hold third world country passport. I've got a long story about that. It's probably for another time,
We'll
another
talk
day.
about it more later.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it could be very expensive. So I thought to myself, I saw if like animated animation animators, what do you call it? Animation dudes like Yo-Yo 808 or Devontae the One or something. I looked a couple of those cartoons and was like, if you have a story and like you have a book and probably not many people read it, if you put it into animation, maybe it will be a good idea, better than like to do the movie part, especially if you are nobody like me. So with AI abundance, its availability and easy access, I think anybody can do it. And I thought to myself, why don't I do it? So what I'm saying is, since you do the music, I feel like the day is coming when we could work together.
Absolutely.
There is no animation without the music, dude.
I mean, I will definitely be the first to. I'll need an autographed copy of your book first and foremost. Let me just say that I'll be first.
Only if you're feeling it. If not, nah. Like.
Well,
Yep.
I know you have a story to tell, so that's why I'm definitely interested in, in reading it and partaking in it myself. But that's another thing, being the fact that you have these experiences all over. I mean, your traveling record is next to none, and I just see you like, I think I know where you're at, and then you'll post another, story where you're somewhere totally different, so I'm like, wait a minute, she's hard to keep up with. Where, may I ask, has been your favorite place to visit? Like your favorite, whether it be country or just somewhere in particular in general, like what was your favorite landmark or just that you've been to?
I would say it depends on many factors. We could take the US, for example, because it's more closer and more familiar, I guess. I would say that so it depends on what we're talking about, leisure or life, visit or leave, long experience, short-term experience.
Where did you feel like was more like most therapeutic and liberating, where you were able to breathe just differently?
To be very honest with you, the moment I left East Europe, that was the first time I actually took a breath of fresh air and gained a sense of this homey type of feeling.
Right.
So I was already like very excited to be somewhere else in the world, because the world is really so much bigger than that's for another story as well. But the world is so much bigger than the problems, the hardships, you've been surrounded since you were little. You know what I mean? Like we grew up, now you have a choice, now you have option, now I can explore. Except that if you hold a passport like me, it would be very hard to do so, because all these months and months of preparations, you paying a lot of fees just to know that your visa will be denied anyway. Well, you just try. Maybe it'll be your luck, and you can finally travel outside. Even like to the nearby countries, it was hard to go. Like, yes, you probably will go, but you have to be very, very well prepared months and months and months ahead. Can you imagine? Like, versus with the American passport, you can be like, today you sit on your chair like that and be like, I want to go to Colombian Carnival right now. I am so depressed, and I feel like my best medicine will just be that kind of fun that I cannot have here, or I don't want to pay for that. I can go to Colombia and get it cheaper. Boom, you book in your flight and you out. If you forgot to fill up some form, you can do it at the airport, and that's okay. Not even always you need your itinerary like that. Do what you want. And I know there's like, when I arrived to the United States, I see there's a lot of people in the United States who are very depressed, who sort of spoiled and maybe not understand all the goodies that they have here. But doesn't matter sometimes, doesn't matter how much goodies you have anywhere, that does not cure your depression. You're still depressed and sad. And change of environment really do puts your broken heart together. And broken heart meaning for your community, for your something that's close to you, for your own hardships or whatever. Traveling will literally heal you, like that's quicker than whatever you want to shut off your mind, get high, get drunk. When you travel, you also get high on that.
Yes, there is a certain a certain
all the
elevation you feel. Like you said, that freedom sense, that's a high to itself, It
so
definitely is.
but let me get back to your question because I really get carried away with this
It's
kind of
I'm here.
topics,
I'm
you
here
know.
with you. I'm listening.
But that's to shout out to everybody with American passport. Do not waste your passport. You can be anywhere in the world. It costs so much cheaper than anything you purchase here on a daily basis. So please travel, people. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Uh, I hear you.
Yes. So I would say the most favorite place, like really insane and incredible, I would say is Yellowstone Park.
Mhm.
Everybody in their life should who can, of course, should go there and visit. Also, you need to understand, like when you're asking me that type of question, I would need to bring an understanding that when you live in post-Soviet Union countries, the US influence is insane. And I'm saying this beauty, the beautiful product that you see from the outside, the beautiful picture. Like here I'm going to the GTA San Andreas game when it first got into my hands, and I laid my eyes on what is California look like, and I'm looking at this crazy gray looking sad naked trees, buildings, no nature, from a window, and people with like angry sad faces. Everybody with angry sad faces when I'm growing up.
Right.
Nobody ever greets you outside. If you come to the store to buy something, they'll be like, yo, what you doing up in here? What do you want? A cigarettes? And get out, like something like that. And then I go to the GTA and there's beautiful palm trees, and yeah, so to be honest with you, so when I got to California, first time in my life, yes, that was very therapeutic. That was very healing. Yes, I've seen all the downsides that they speak about CALi. Yes, Los Angeles does not look like nothing they show in the movies. Nothing in the game. It's really different. I was a little bit like, what is this? But the moment you get adopted to the city, like, I don't know how to put it. I would say Los Angeles is 10 times more chill than New York.
Yeah.
It's still a big city and you still will feel this pressure. And I'm not even talking about cost of living, just talking about like doing something. Right. The competitiveness, okay? Because and it's very interesting situation here. Like in Ukraine, for example, if we're talking about like twerking, every girl twerks in the United States. Every white, black, doesn't matter. Everybody could twerk. In Ukraine, however, that's where I'm from. There is no such type of dancing, and so if you happen to get it from some internet and you learn, you can actually go and teach people twerk. Then you can organize like twerking camps, gather all the best choreographers. That's in your opinion. You rent the space, and boom, you have a dancing event, and I just know a girl who did kind of stuff. So, and she actually took over the whole Ukraine, to whole Europe. She came to the United States. I actually absolutely love and adore her. She's a great mentor to me. However, here's another thing. So she came here to teach people, like, it's like the same thing, like come to the bird's nest and teach birds how to fly.
Right.
They fly from birth. You know what I mean?
That's like the first nature to them. Yep.
Yeah, and she entered the situation like, you know what? I will probably do the same thing that everybody else is doing, but I'll just do it differently. I have my idea, I have a passion. She's also from Ukraine, by the way. And it didn't bother her. It did not bother her the level of competition, the competitiveness, the pressure in LA. Everybody and their brother, father, sister, mother come to audition for, movies, for entertainment, to be a video vixen, to be an artist, to be a rapper, to be blah, to be everything. And so so what I'm saying is, I see you do this your participation through the years, and you don't stop. And so this actually I really admire about you. You just don't stop, and you can keep on pushing no matter what, no matter all the competition level. And speaking of such, how would you describe your experience of your coming up, to be from being up and coming to be somebody that people recognize, to be somebody standing next to celebrities probably you knew like before you got into to your level. How would you describe your journey? Let's talk about your journey.
It definitely, that's the perfect actual word for it. It was a journey. Of course you're right about one thing. I definitely, when I was a kid, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do, I didn't have any doubts, within me that I would become somebody. But at the same time, like, I wanted to be humble. I wanted to be humble. And so when I started my journey, I knew that nothing ever happens overnight. Nothing was going to be easy, but at the same time, it also, as I was, going through my journey, it ended up being even harder than even I imagined it would be,
But harder in what sense? What
in,
was?
In just learning, and me especially, and just learning everything, because like everything, like when you do everything for the first time, even something as like my first recording, like first getting on a microphone, even like, you go in confident, but when you get in front of that microphone, it's a whole it's not what it's not what you expect, when you watch the movies, sometimes like you see people rap, do their recording their songs like in movies or whatever, they're recording it and they're getting it the first time, when my first time in front of a microphone, that's when I realized, okay, it's time. And I learned the process of even just learning how to rap. I learned how to count bars musically. I was just new to everything. So just right from recording my first song to doing my first performance on stage to doing just my first experience and everything in the business was just like my first interview was just, oh shit, this is it. That moment that you feel like, oh, like, when it's time for, for you.
Absolutely.
Okay. But no, so being the first time and everything, my first interview, was, even that was like all, the lights hit you and it's all eyes on you. Everyone's listening to. So that was, took me some time for getting used to, but, it's a constant learning process. When you're in the business, don't ever think, you have it all figured out. There's always going to be something new to learn, and especially since I just didn't want to be an artist, like I wanted to be involved in, like interviewing my first big celebrity was like, it was just like, is this happening? Like, and it's
Who was your
just,
first big celebrity, and how did you manage composure or find words?
Okay, well, my first big celebrity was well, I'm from Los Angeles, so, and we call this man the voice of Los Angeles. His name was Big Boy, and
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah,
his show.
And he's still to this day the voice of Los Angeles. But fortunately enough, I had known him previously. I had met him when I was a kid, because he had him and my mother worked together in Las Vegas. And so I remember her calling me like, you'll never guess who I'm with right now. And I'm like, who? Big Boy, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, so I guess he was doing his show out there because they were out there for a big fight event or something of that nature. And so I told him, give me a shout out while they're out there, and fast forward, he ends up coming to my city where I'm from in West Covina, and for a big event that he was doing. So I go meet him over there, and I shake his hand, and I tell him, I'm like, well, I got a story to tell you, and he's like, all right. So I told him, the story about him and my mom that I just shared with you right now. And first thing he does, he looks me dead in my eye. He goes, call her. I'm like, okay, like, so I call him like, Mom, somebody here wants to speak with you. And it was like full circle. Like when she called me, when she was with Big, now I'm with Big and I'm calling her, handing her the phone. he basically invites my mother down to the establishment that we were at, and he bought us dinner and drinks and everything, and we hung out for a while, and that was just me and him reconnected back from when
He's such a sweetheart. I mean, not just in person too.
Yes, he is a very down to earth, humble individual, and he has my utmost respect for for all of this. So I tell him that I'm starting up, my show, my series that we're doing right now, CALi, and he agrees to do it. And for me, that one was probably one of the easiest, as crazy as it sounds, because of the fact that it was like talking to a loved one, a family member, and he kind of carried me through it, but I'm like still here, in his radio station. I'm around all these people are watching, so that was, that's what saved me, that's what saved me and got me through it, was the fact that like he talked to me like me and you are just talking right now, but the thing about it was like, and I'll never forget this. It's like you're asking me about all my first time experiences, just getting used to it. Like, I'll never forget that like I just, I'm not trying to name drop all these crazy names and none, but I just remember being at this table one time, and it was after a successful show, and we were all just there, but there are all these artists and actors and hosts, TV hosts, radio hosts, all these around me, and I'm sitting at this booth, and I'm sitting right in the middle. But I stopped for a second, and I'm looking around at everyone who's here. And even this is hard for me to get used to because I'm looking, and I sit back in the booth for a second, and I'm like, the fuck am I doing here? Because these are like some people, like I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, but somebody noticed what I was doing, and they sat back in the booth with me, and they're taking it all in, huh, little cuz? And I'm like, he knew exactly what I was doing, because I was just so like, is this real? Like that moment, so even moments like that were like, took some time for me to get used to, and I don't take it for granted at all. I appreciate every single thing that I'm able to accomplish, every moment that I'm able to, like you say, these moments where I'm just the simple pictures, the videos, whatever that, you may come across. I definitely cherish it all, because, I know that, somebody would kill to be where I'm at. I'm still, even if not where I'm not where I'd like to be yet, at least, I've come a long way from, thank God, where I was before, So, like you say, these are the things, these are the moments, like you say, that are very therapeutic and liberating to me. These are the words where I find freedom, because at least I know I'm doing something right. These are the things that remind me, like, yo, I'm making a difference, and these are my rewards at the end of the day. And if I can use my blessing to help anybody else out, and just I'll definitely do it, as long as I believe, as long as I believe in them, and I know they believe in me in that same way. So I'm still in the beginning, to be honest. I'm still starting out, because I know that there's a lot of more firsts that are going to be upcoming for me. So but that's what it's been like so far.
But it's pretty unique of you to remain humble, because this is LA. Nobody humble in LA. What do you mean? You know what I mean? And
I do. It's hard for me to agree, because I don't like to, speak negatively on my own, city, my own soil, but I understand what you are saying, right. And
I love LA. There's no negativity in the area. Just saying, like, it's just a known stereotype. In Miami, LA, yes, you won't find humble. You will find everything but humble. There's no way. There is no way. You live in the best state. What are you talking about?
But that's why I want to be that breath of fresh air. I want to be the one that, me, and once again, there's one other person we're going to speak about during this interview.
Okay.
Me and that one other person wants to be the one to bring that element to the West Coast, to LA, to San Andreas. We want to be the ones that prove that we can stand out, be humble, and open up opportunities for others. Like, because I love, like, I love what you do because you go and highlight the most beautiful and some of the most famous iconic places within our soil or within Cali, and you bring them out. You know how to showcase them. You know that right there is a talent unto itself because even though it doesn't seem like work for you, like just be even people who are from Cali, we don't get to go that far and like that often into these places. Like it'll be years
And my
sometimes.
question is, why not?
Um,
I
LA moves
noticed that too,
Mhm.
but why do you think it's maybe not that common in your culture, or
Mhm.
why not?
LA moves very fast. And like
Agree.
time out here, it moves so fast. Like we can be doing like you, like we try, like when you were out at the party, like we were supposed to do this, but time moves so fast when with everything that we're doing
Boom,
out
2
here.
a.m. and I'm like,
Like it's crazy because we'll say okay, me and you, let's say we'll go out, we'll go do a photo shoot, and then we'll go like have our food reservations, in about a couple hours. When we're done, like 3 hours will pass by, we'll miss our food reservations.
Mhm.
It's like those of us who are able to, like, let's say like you, because LA is expensive, so
Oh yeah.
even like you know if we have the luxury of time, we'll definitely plan and we'll be like, yo, we need to go, like you say, to Yellowstone, or we need to go, to Big Bear or Lake Tahoe, like, just somewhere where it's known to be beautiful and known to be a nice vacation place. If we have the luxury of time, and those who, if they have the luxury of monetary, like money, like.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's the Kid Clutch, aka the Pun Size Pharaoh.
It's your boy Active, Crack City representative.
Hey yo, what up y'all? It's your boy Sly Bugs.
Nigga, welcome to Cali.
Check me out on CALi the series, my nigga.
My boy, welcome to Cali. You dig? West West. Aye.
Hey, what's happening? It's Taylor Third. I'm live with my people on the Welcome to Cali series. We right here in the East Side Long Beach. So I want to say shout out to my boy Young Cal. Let's keep it going, West West.
What up with it, y'all? This your OG partner, the legendary Cocaine. You heard? From the SGV. Look, I want to give a shout out to the CALi series show. Y'all got to tap in. It's real, and it's with my homeboys, and you're gonna love this interview. Yeah, Cocaine out.
So sorry about that, everybody. Brief little intermission break. But one thing that I've always wondered, because I've seen you almost everywhere. Where is one place that you would like to visit that you have yet to visit?
So that would be Grand Canyon. I have not been there.
Okay.
That would also be all the places around in Arizona.
Mhm.
Denver, Colorado. I have not made it there yet.
Okay.
Time to see Florida, especially while I can. I mean, I don't know how conservative Florida might become. So I don't know. Maybe now is the best time, and next time there'll be some crazy rules imposed, and you just never know, right?
Exactly. The way of the world right now, it could be, snap of a finger, something can change.
Yeah, and also I've missed Joshua Tree last time, so I will be back in Arizona in like 2 weeks. I should, or I will see. Because I don't know exactly where I'm going yet. I'm just flying over to Arizona, and then from there I see, can I still squeeze in Cali? I hope so. Because my main goal right now is to see Las Vegas. I've never seen Las Vegas before.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You see the movie, right? You see like I walked there in San Andreas. I also seen a lot of Las Vegas in the movies, but I've never seen it. So that's where I want to. That's where I want to get. So that's the goal, to see. These are places.
Yeah, let's get you to Los Venturas ASAP.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's it's therapeutic because it shapes your mind. It really does. The traveling does expand your mind. It does shape your mind. You do return to wherever you come from, like a different person. Even if you are returning into your own car after visiting some new place, you've been there, you're just coming back there to sleep. Because we slept in the car during the traveling. Because what do you think? You just pay for motel every day?
You were a real one.
Hell no.
Yeah, I've
No.
definitely been through it, and all of the places that you named are absolutely phenomenal. You know,
Yeah.
I definitely want to, your feedback. Once you visit all of these places, please let me know how you felt about them. What you think, how they made you feel, or especially, because everywhere you go, it's a different vibe. But regardless,
Absolutely.
it's gonna be a positive and beautiful one. No matter which one of those you're at. So
It's like every
definitely.
state is its own country, and there's no analogy in the world. There's no country like that, like the United States. And I know, probably showing it through the eyes of a hungry immigrant that finally got into the United States. Wow. Yes, fact. And exactly, I want, because like I've met a lot of people in the United States when I was living in Mexico, and a lot of them said so many like bad things about United States, because I will express my like wish to see it for myself, and I never heard positive. And now my friend from from the United States but moved to Mexico, like a lot of American expats. Um, she once told me like, "Wow, you making me like states again. Like I forgot. Like you making like America look really beautiful." And I know that I'm not making nothing. I'm just showing your soil is insane. It's truly insane. It's
And
truly
let me
so
just say,
diverse.
I appreciate, you doing that. And I know you're not doing it intentionally, it's just how she feels from, seeing it from your point of view. But thank you for,
It's just my therapy. Like seeing new places is it's my high. It's my dope. What do you call it?
yeah.
It's my therapy. And I feel like that's awesome. But as somebody who like experienced different lifestyles, meaning life on the beach that everybody's dreaming about. You get up with your computer, you start working, you are on the beach already, sipping your whatever. Um, you have it, and you eating cheap tacos and everything, and this is paradise. And I would say, yes, this is paradise. And so it was very hard to leave Mexico, because I was like, man, I love it here. Like I'm living my dream. But also, of course, to get to the United States, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. So it was very hard to make that move, right? But then I met a dilemma, which right is correct? The hustle, the grind, the upping yourself, up. Like for example, an individual in front of me, right? You're a great prime example of that lifestyle. Or the other side of the medal is life on the beach, when you live in your relaxed self, stress-free, you got nowhere to rush. Like because I'm working remotely, I could just sit on my bed and do this, or I could sit on the beach and do the same thing. I could be sitting anywhere, and this is like the blessing, of course. But what I'm saying is, sooner or later, believe it or not, beach will get boring.
Yep.
As a young person, only like as a young person, I'm speaking only for young people who, or not if just young but active people, like who really feels like they need to be doing something. Yes, when you're older, when you're ready to retire, yes, beach life is for you. Yes, absolutely. But
It's
as
funny
a
that
young
you
one,
say,
yeah.
yeah. It's funny that you say that though, because that is my escape, is the beach. Like whenever I
Right.
just want to go and it just breathe. If I want to just be in my own sanctuary, my just by myself, my own company, that's where I'll go. And I'll go out there, and that's just like I keep saying, that's where I breathe different. That's where I start, getting a clear mind, and I'm able to just, get everything in order where it would be normally in organized chaos. It just, for me, when I just want my own freedom and my own just personal, getaway, that is where I go to. Because I don't know, I've always been a water person. I don't know what it is, but for me, that's just where I go to just escape from, as you would say, like everything else is smaller, from
Yes.
that beach point of view, So
Living
go ahead.
next to the water is like probably the best thing you can do to yourself. Really, the best thing you can do to yourself. Like me personally, I have a relationship with ocean, and anytime I meet new ocean is like the big deal, big event for me. I absolutely, I like, I love water. Water is my number one. I don't know who. I love water.
Yes, that's number one element for me. That's where I
Yes,
go.
element.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you're right though. You and your friend who you were speaking with, I can definitely agree with y'all. Where I definitely feel a lot more regularly that, and I'm guilty of it too. A lot of us, that live here in America, like we sometimes, forget about these types of qualities that that we have, and we may take them for granted from time to time because we're so self-involved with what we got going on, and just work or family, whatever it may be, that we kind of forget, and we let these things slip our minds, and I wish we would appreciate them more as well. So that there is a lot of truth to to that thought process, I got to admit. But for those of us that we know that we need to get away sometimes for just mental health and emotional purposes, like we definitely know when to take advantage of them, because we know that that's what we need at the time, so I'm just glad that you noticed these beautiful things that we have here too, and that's why I say I appreciate the way you display them, because you make them look so much better. But what may I ask, I know you're which is why you make them look so well. You got into the whole camera, the modeling aspect of things. How did that come along for you? Because
that's actually in the past. I need to update my bio and my page as a whole, but it's just like I've never just get time. Same thing, like I never just get time to post my travels or something else.
Well, when it was part of your life, what was that experience like for you?
So I need to mention that I'm 5'1". I'm very short, and I could only do like a photo modeling thing, that like let's say for lingerie or for different other project that involves not your height. For photographers, portfolios, just trying to remember. For bridal magazine ones. I wouldn't remember all of it because it was like the latest one, like the most recent one I've done like 4 years ago or 5. It was a very long time ago. I'm no longer involved into the photo shooting, but I would tell you that if you as somebody who been doing that in Ukraine, it's a little bit different story. You receive different kind of offers, and I have my own comical experience, which probably will take another, like I'm trying not to waste all of our time on those little nuances, but at the time it was very popular to shoot for, and this is insane. It's just, I don't know if I should say that on the record though.
I mean, I can edit anything that I'm gonna edit it all anyway. So anything that you don't.
I mean, there's nothing to it but a comedy. But it used to be a time in Ukraine, like 10 years ago, where like what do you call it? Like bridal agencies been like hiring models to take a picture, just normal picture of yourself, so that they can impose as you, as that beautiful girl they would that the single man would communicate with. So basically like dating websites where wrapped and sugar coated by like, you're looking for a wife, we're helping people to get married, create family, that type of crap, and selling it abroad. So basically as a man, I'm looking for Ukrainian wife, we're looking for Latino wife, we're looking for whatever wife, something. So this type of agencies used to be very popular in Ukraine. So if they see like there's models, they see their profiles, they offer to pay you some money to use your pictures. And if, let's say, a person who is using your profile, which usually a male who speaks other languages, will chat with anybody from your own, as if he is you, from your own face, but different name, I guess. I don't remember already how it all goes down. And man, in order to use the services of the website, they need to pay. So it's not free to chat with a girl. It's not free. There's nothing sexual, by the way. It's like you're not even allowed to upload, not you but them, like upload like pictures that will show your like any skin at all. So it was like very, very modest, but it was not for free. So this man from everywhere around the world, I think mostly in the United States, if they are they're paying for like chatting with you for like every 30 minutes. I don't remember. So, and you yourself as a girl, you do not participate in that, but you get like a commission for whatever they make off of your profile, simply off those chats or the time specific people spend with you. If the person wants to fly in your country and meet you, quote unquote, I heard, because I did not participate, again, because that sounds absolutely, but I know tons of models who I met on my shootings. They've been telling me about that type of stuff, you know? And there was a point in my life where I was like, okay, yeah, somebody could use my pictures, and I did get paid for like, I don't even know where these pictures went, actually. Right. But I just know I got paid for them and whatever. It was just like one time, 2 time thing. So I have no idea how all that goes. But I remember it was like epitome in Ukraine. I feel like it's a straight up scam, and I don't know how is that been even ever allowed. Yeah. And but you can't really go anywhere far. You have to have probably like exceptional looks, exceptional height is number one thing. So it was something like I did on the side once in a while, so I just put it up there, but it was like a very old info. It was well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, if I may, you definitely have every qualification that a model would require, no matter, what country you are, or where you may be in the globe. I'm not surprised that you were summoned. Like I said, you make America look so much better. Like you remind me about certain places that I probably should already know. Like, oh yeah, I forgot how beautiful that place looked. One of my favorite pictures was when you actually I think you just did like a quick photo. I wouldn't say a photo shoot, but just you took a bunch of photos. And one of my favorite ones that you were out here in LA, and I think it was in Hollywood. And you were taking pictures in the museum and whatnot, and your whole outfit, that dress, I loved it. Oh, thank you.
Phenomenal. Do you personally have any favorite pictures that stand out to you, like from your experiences traveling and whatnot? Like, do you have any? What would you say were your favorite pics that you've taken?
I would still say Yellowstone. There's just nothing like it. I will post a video of what do you call it? Like explore? No. Oh my God, I forgot the word. I'm sorry.
No problem.
When a geyser is just blows off, like.
Oh, the eruption.
Eruption. Sorry for that. Yeah. So eruption.
No problem.
I was able to film the eruption of Old Faithful geyser.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
It's beyond any word but possible to describe such an event. I took a full video of its erupting, and I think this is the most gorgeous, the most, I would say, sort of psychedelic view you could ever imagine. Such a like fountain of hot water, just.
That,
isn't it just wild?
Yes, and one of nature's miracles. I love that you were able to capture such a an epic shot. Because there's photographers who don't get to capture that. People who would love to have that on film, and you, like I said, are always posting just phenomenal views, phenomenal sightings. Like I love seeing the world through your eyes. So thank you for allowing me to live vicariously through you in that manner.
I would
Um,
say likewise. The Hollywood life, it's something that seems to be very unattainable. Which leads me to my next question regarding how did you get into battle rap? Let's talk about battle rap. Have you ever yourself considered, maybe there's something I could do, which I can only imagine how much um, it takes preparation to not only form your rhymes, but then memorize it and rehearsal over and over and over and over. And honestly, so I'm somebody who started watching battle rap in 2018 when I met my ex. So
mhm,
he was like into all of that and basically introduced that world to me.
mhm.
And then I was hooked. And I'll tell you, I was hooked. I was smitten.
It's
The
addicting, isn't it?
poetry. No, it's not
Yeah.
about how greatly I could roast you. And probably roasting is a skill that a lot of people possess growing up,
Mhm.
in a famous, crazy high school environment.
So where it all starts. Yep.
But I would say that I don't know what names I could drop. You could edit it if I can. But I would say like people like but our artists like QP or Loaded
Mhm.
Lux or Daylight and
Yep.
Disaster, of course. And what's his name? What's his name? Who's also like I would say K Shine, sort of in that category. I would say where you could see they doing extensive researches on everything. I mean, they're talking about like world's history, conspiracy theories.
Mhm.
And you put it all. It's insane. It's just insane art to me. The poetry, the level of the poetry, and I would feel like it's really in a genes of a man, because you remember how back in the days men used to write poetries to women just to get to your honeypot.
Mhm. Yep. Absolutely.
So
Roses
yeah,
are
I love the
violets are
wordplay.
blue.
Wordplay.
No, that's just an example. The old poems, roses are red, violets are blue. You know, sugar is sweet, so are you. Well, for me,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was a fan of hip hop, as far as I can remember from inception, as a kid. And if anybody who's familiar with the hip hop culture knows that battle rap has always been the cornerstone, of the MC, because hip hop culture is built up of the four elements,
Mm-hmm.
MCing, DJing, breakdancing, and graffiti. But as an MC, like, it's almost like by nature you're competitive, So if you like you'll have a conversation with almost any battle rapper, they'll tell you, back in the day you come across anybody who, if you say you rapped and they say they rapped, it was almost a battle instantly, or a cipher would start, trying to see who's really, who's a true MC. um so for battle rap, for me, has always been like, I've respected it from the beginning, because like that's just everyone, hip hop artist's entry into the world of, of the hip hop artist, of being a rapper in general. So I'd say, but like when I really started paying attention, I'd say it was around 2003. Like MTV, they had did this competition. They had did a couple of them actually. Where it was the MC battle competition, and they would choose, um, like battle artists, who would be representatives from each city, and bring them all to New York and see who was better, and then whoever won, won a music deal with, a label, whether it had been Def Jam or Rockefeller. But
Oh.
so, you know, I was paying attention ever since then. Then of course 8 Mile came out, where Eminem's movie, where he was, it was all about battle rap. But if you watch it back then, when he was doing it, they were all doing it on beat. It was all freestyle, off the top of the head, and MCs would go in there and slay each other, even. And
Right.
then a lot of these uh a lot of these battle competitions, um the World Rap Championships, like all of these things, would start, and all of these battle artists who you and I are familiar with, they were at these competitions, until battle rap evolved at one point. I'd say somewhere in like maybe the early 2010s, maybe a little bit before that, 2007, 2008, like the battle rap culture started gaining a life of its own out here in LA and, out in New York. So we would start having all of these battle leagues,
Right.
Rhyme Time was our league out here in LA, and which would lead into our modern day battle league, which me and Diz now, we operate together, GTX. But as far as, when it started for me, like when we started doing the grind time battles out here, when Diz started making his name for himself out here, like I started recognizing, and him and him started like back in 2009 when we would be at these grind time events.
Oh, you're going
And
way back.
like for me, you asked when I started, like this is when I started really recognizing, that the culture was becoming really big out here in LA. So I knew I wanted to be part of this, and it became something that I very much, respected, a movement that I knew I was going to be behind, because like it represented the purity of hip hop. It was the, it went back to our roots,
Oh yeah.
and so, I'm glad that you started the conversation, because hold on, I had to ask, how did you first meet? I don't know if you did meet. I just noticed that was our mutual acquaintance. How did you meet or get familiar with the GOAT Disaster himself?
Yeah, so I haven't met them in real life, but I absolutely excited to do so. Last time when I was in LA, just didn't happen because I was like on very scheduled trip. Plus, I think that's when he was outside of the United States. So
yeah, he does. He's like you. He's traveling all over the world. Absolutely.
Right. So yeah. So I definitely will check in with him once I go back to the West.
Have you spoken with him? Like, do you communicate with him like on social media or anything?
Yeah, just on social media. So how it started. So basically, when I was like really into my battle rap era, when it just started, of course you have your favorite artists, you start following them on social media, and so I noticed that his content actually very unique compared to his peers, because he's touching on the political situation back in his home country and other countries where United States is involved, and basically global world situation. And as my country happened to I know I'm trying to put it be on the list of events of such type, like when the war started in my country, and I myself had no choice but make a deep dive.
A deep dive into, I know.
Yeah, into like the history, how everything started, like the roots, where the roots lies of what's going on currently. Also, my stepfather, he's in military. He I cannot speak on his what do you call it? Like he's in wait, I need to Google it. I need a translator. No
problem at all. But that's what that's why I always had a deep appreciation for you and Disaster, because you guys allow me to see the world like through y'all eyes. Like I remember Diz going through my home soil of the Philippines, and they treated him like a king over there, and he like battled on one of the greatest stages in the Philippines, famously for where Muhammad Ali once fought. So that's why I always loved going through your guys' stories, seeing your guys' posts, because it's stuff that I won't see like anywhere else from people who I know personally.
Thank you for Thank you for sharing. That's very interesting. Now I have another package of questions. We'll get back to it. It's you have a very interesting background. I actually was clueless. Wow. So yeah, and so my stepdad is in Marine Brigade. I don't know what's in English. Marine
Okay.
Battalion. So and he participated in a very serious and very big operations. Probably you've heard of Azovstal and other words that's been like in the news, all over the news. Maybe not, but that's okay. So and I myself started like really participating into that. So I think, I don't remember how we met, but I mean, like, start talking. I mean, just communicating. Even he responded. I think I commented something on his story because he posted about either our situation or maybe some other country situation, maybe his country situation, and I commented and shared what's going on for me. And most of our conversations being based on the political foundation, you know, about the world and other things, because I absolutely love his stance on the justice. First of all, I actually like how he like really knows history well. He knows history well. He knows.
Absolutely. I learned so much from him.
Yeah, not just the United States history, but also his home country history and also the world history, and he's posting about it. And I absolutely like really, I'm reading and I'm like going through this post, and I can actually absolutely co-sign after all these words. This is exactly how we speak in my country. This is exactly how we feel. This is exactly how the right way to like, because he's not just reviewing the problems, he offers the solutions. And so this is how I found a common ground with him specifically, apart from, hey, excuse me, this is one of your most favorite battle rappers. Hello. You know, but the mind of the person. And so I absolutely respect and admire his mind. And I see how it lies into a poetry. But yeah, if you wonder how on earth, because I'm not an artist when it comes down to hip hop or music, how are you guys even like get an acquaintance? I would say in political ground. I got my own country that's fighting for its freedom, its justice. Yes, we're tired of sucking Russian dick. Let's fight for that. No, but no. First of all, we not just we're fighting somebody, we're protecting our land. You came to us, you know what I mean? So in his situation is, of course, different, but the pain is the same.
Yes.
The wailing that I feel inside is the same. So yeah, so like I would love to meet him in person and like have these conversations and as well like learn and also share, because everybody learn from each other. I learned a lot from you today, as well as I think any person that you come across to that tell you some story, some perspective, somewhere you probably never been at or never seen, or I mean, it's interesting because we are like avatars. It's when somebody share a story, it's like they allow you to wear their avatar for brief 5 minutes. And that's why like I feel like it's amazing, because probably it will inspire you like for your next you know, like work of art or anything, maybe your next adventure, who knows.
Oh, I'm gonna keep you in mind, you know, in almost everything I do. Like I said, I would love to have you, you know, come and be a part of one of my projects one day, you know, join a video, you know.
I absolutely would love the idea of the video. I just unfortunately couldn't make it, like, because I'm in Chicago and I didn't know when my next trip was gonna come up.
No problem. It's okay. We'll definitely make it happen. And if I have anything to do with it, you will eventually meet my big brother Disaster. You know, that, you know, is one individual who, whenever I'm in front of him, whenever I leave wiser and smarter, because I learned something from him each and every single time I interact with him. And even as long as I've known him, you know, I've 10 plus years, you know, it still amazes me. Like I said, I still get that feeling like, what am I doing in front of this man? Like, you know, and that's my big brother, you know. And
And I
You're
also love
absolutely
that you guys stay like unfiltered. For example, I'm noticing that URL, and I love URL, but URL is much more filtered than GTX. I love because I watch GTX on YouTube, and I absolutely I feel like I see the difference right there. It's sort of breath of fresh air because I feel like there's less censoring, less limiting. You think you can
I
talk about anything and everything, and without the fear to be demonetized, monetization, yeah,
yeah,
without that fear.
you know what? You have my eternal gratitude for that. You know, the thank you. You know, we definitely appreciate the love. You know, we all love URL. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
definitely one of the pioneers. You know, but we do. You know they definitely started on the East Coast, and you know it's just that the style's different. You know, that's all it is. They're just the styles are different. You know, and we just always appreciated the love that you always gave us, the support that you had always showed us. You know, me and Diz interacting with you, it was always you were a breath of fresh air to us. You know, because you had, like you said, you definitely share the same perspective as Diz, and you can relate to everything that he talks about when he goes into, you know, to his style, you know, which is of his, which can never be, you know, redone. Like Diz's style is his style, and only he can speak about these types of issues the way that he does because he lives them. And that's what we're
Right.
doing, you know. That's what
Because
we're
you know
doing.
what? He actually went back to his country and he went through all the events. Now he can rap about everything that he wants, you know, like he lived through all those events and he can stand very firmly on his ground because he actually had the balls to go and be during all of the attacks, because I remember him posting that in Beirut. I was like, what? No way.
He was right in the middle of it all, and you know they had just attacked a place he was just there at a day before. Like I was, you know, really praying for my brother while he was in his hometown soil. Like I know no matter what, I understand where he's coming from. It's very refreshing being at home, but you know what
The
his
timing that
homeland
he
was,
came.
the homeland what his homeland was enduring at that time. Like it was, you know, a very dangerous situation for him, but you know he definitely came back to us, you know, in one piece, and that's what I was praying for, and that's what we got. But these are the events. Once again, if you don't bear with me, shameless plug, this is what we're going to be discussing and, you know, taking on at our next event on December 29th, World War III. You know, if you
Would you
can
like to talk
somehow
about it?
if you can come make it to the States, you know, on December 29th, we'd love to have you. I'll save you a seat. It's a battle, actually. It's going to be, you know, the whole theme will be, you know, the Lebanon and Palestine versus Israel, because he's battling an Israeli battle art. And they're both representing their sides of, you know, the battle lines and whatnot. And, you know, they're going to be battling each other, you know, disaster versus Anubis, and they're both going to be representing, you know, their soils and their perspectives of what's going on over there, you know, and the tragedy and all that. So if you can't make it, you know, I'll definitely send you the link, because you know, the event, we're going to be streaming it for free, so because this one's for the world, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, this is what makes you know, disaster, you know, different from every other battle rapper, you know what I mean? Like, this is why, in my opinion, he'll always be the greatest of all time, because he represents the world. He goes around the world to different battle leagues and battles in their native tongue and their language, and you know, he represents for everybody, you know what I mean? So that's why, you know, I'm honored. I've always been honored to call him my brother, you know, and that's me and him, you know, just to answer your question when you asked, you know, that's the culture is what brought me and him together. Our mutual love for the culture and my respect for his ability and skill wise, like he's just unfuckwittable. Like, in my opinion, like,
Facts.
you know, you can't tell me anything, you know, and that's why people are always pushing, you know, for him to, you know, battle the, you know, the best of the best, you know, whoever it may be, you know, no matter what league it may be, and or just in general, like he's battled, you know, worldwide, you know, international artists, you know. We all saw the cannabis battle, you know what I mean, and what happened there, you know, some of the greatest
Yeah.
MCs of all time. So you know, that's
The goat
know,
is the goat, you know.
exactly. But you know, he's what like I was always familiar with the sport of battle rap. I loved it. I loved the fact that, you know, what that it was the grassroots of hip hop. But he's what brought me to the modern day culture. You know what I mean? He's what grabbed my attention and like it made me get familiar with, you know, all of the other battle leagues, and you know what I mean. But it started with him. So that was my, you know, my entry. So that was just refreshing when, you know, that I saw that, you know, we had a mutual loved one and acquaintance. You know what I mean? So I would I can definitely say that, you know, we love to have you, you know, your presence at one of our events, or just, you know, whenever you come, you know, you come back.
It's a great feeling to realize that, and absolutely, I will be thrilled. And I feel like this event is truly iconic, and especially for 2024 and all that happened in 2024. I feel like you guys are going to shake the...
That's gonna make it hard to smile in the future. But through whatever you see, through all the rain and the pain, you gotta keep your sense of humor. You gotta be able to smile through all this bullshit. Remember that. So keep your head up.
Our lifestyles be closed caption, addicted to fatal attractions. Pictures of actions be played back in the midst of mashing. No fairy tales for this young black male. Some see me stranded in this land of hell, jail and crack sales. Hustling, hardly think of culture or the repercussions while busting on backstabbing vultures. Selling my soul for material wishes, fast cars and bitches. Wishing I lived my life a legend, immortalized in pictures. Watch that tears say your sympathy. My childhood years were spent burying my peers in the cemetery. Here's a message to the newborns waiting to breathe. If you believe, then you can achieve. Just look at me, against all odds. Though life is hard, we carry on. Living in the projects, broke with no lights on. To all the seas that follow me.
All right, everybody, we back once again. Miss Anastasia, before we continue, may I say this really is one of the most funnest interview dialogues that I've ever had on the series. Thank you so much for this.
No, you definitely make the atmosphere, so it was pretty much easy.
I appreciate it.
to participate.
One thing that I'm sure a lot, you know, most people actually, you know, they probably don't know about us is that you know, we grew up together. You know, even though I'm from, you know, I'm an islander from the Philippines and you are from the Ukraine, we grew up together in the city of San Andreas together.
Oh yeah, city of Los Santos.
Representing in the building.
Fair.
I was like this is where we bonded. Like, this is how I knew we were gonna get along just fine. You know, I was like, because I don't get to talk about this, you know, with too many people, especially nowadays. You know, back then, like, of course, like, we were all in Los Santos, you know, on Grove Street, but you know,
but it's even more special, I think, for you in straight up in 4K, because you could you know, back in the days, play the game on your computer, and then you can go outside and you see the same views. How does that feel?
I mean, it's not as easy because, you know, especially like depending on where we grew up, we can't go to those certain sections. Like where we're from, like if you're from, like, it's just like you can't be from Grove Street going into a baller hood. So for a lot of us, it's like the same thing. Like if you're from one of these sections, you can't go there. You have to, a lot of, you know, some of us had to experience it on, you know, on just the video game. You know, it's not as easy. Like, we can go in the video game, go steal a car and go into anywhere we want. Yeah, because you get to restart if you fail. If a mission failed. But in real life, if we go into the wrong section, there is no going back to where you saved the game last. You know, that's game over for us. You know, but like it's but for the most part, like if you're going to the create the, you know, the neutral areas of it, like there's a lot of similarities, but truth be told, they didn't capture it. You know, like it's funny, like I have a lot of people from from the actual neighborhoods that they were, representing in the game. They feel like, wait a minute, Rockstar owes us money. They used our likeness for the game. You know what I mean? Like, but no, it's all love. We understand what they did and how they did it, and they represented it like properly. So we're not mad.
Is there anything? Oh, sorry. I was so eager to ask this question. Is there anything you would, as a Los Angelino, like Angelino, or how you call yourself, Los Angelino?
Los Angelino, yeah.
Angelino.
You got it right.
Say that again.
Well, you can call us Los Angeline or Angelinos.
Angelinos. That's the word. Because I said it in sort of like Spanish pronunciation, Angelinos. No, I mean you mean Angelinos. Yeah. So, as I assume you born and raised, or you moved to?
No, I've been lived in Southern California my whole life. Different cities. I've always moved, like, from city to city, but like definitely, I've always stood within the Southern California, Los Angeles area. Absolutely. But
so as someone who, like, as you would call it, homegrown, how would you? Are there any changes you would feel like GTA needed to like, how you put it, like, are there certain elements or the storylines or the way they represented LA and its situation with different neighborhoods and the situation inside of those different neighborhoods, or the way they depicted what it's like to live your life in the hood and wanted to by any means to make it out, what it's like to be inside, what it's like to start from the very bottom, what it's like to see who you could trust, who you can not trust, how to risk your life, not to risk your life. Like, how you feel GTA handled that concept? Do you feel like, no, it looks like a booth, or you feel like, they actually really took their time to create the game? The atmosphere is correct. Yes, it's really how it is. Yes or no?
It's okay. Their GTA, was developed by the video game company Rockstar. Rockstar to me is the greatest video game company of all time, hands down, point blank. Period. There's no. I think Rockstar did a phenomenal job. To me, the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is the greatest video game created of all time. We understand. I stand on that. I think they did it perfectly because of the fact that, we understand that what they did. They did it from a kind of a comedic aspect.
Sort of trolling. I think like they've been trolling.
It's a little over exaggerated, but we helped them do that. I don't think people realize, some people are barely realizing, we have actual people from LA voicing these characters. Big Boy is voicing in the character. The game is voicing a character. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Big Boy is Big Bear. When they go visit Big Bear in the crack house in the beginning, that's Big Boy.
Get out!
I swear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The game is the guy they go visit. The game is the guy that goes tells Big Boy, now go make that fucking toilet sparkle. That's the game talking to Big Boy.
The Jeffrey. The Jeffrey, no?
The skit. That's them two in the skit.
I'm gangsta, I'm Jeffrey. It's in Jeffrey.
No. Not OG Loke.
No. OG Loke. I mean, the institution he was working, doing his community work. No.
No. Okay, so you know how when
I'm going to find out in a second.
You know how CJ and Ryder go visit their old friends in the beginning of the game? They go, let's go get Big Bear.
I googled him just now.
Yeah.
Big Bear.
Yeah, that's Big Boy. Like Big Boy's voicing Big Bear, and then the game is the one with him in that skit.
Huh.
And
okay,
then,
so I just googled his image. I'm trying to remember him. Because I remember Emmett, the first guy that gave him a gun.
Yeah, that's Emmett. He's the homeless guy that they go into the back alley with. But
Okay.
basically, all of these people helped. These Los Angeles legends helped develop the greatest video game of all time, and that's why we know that they did such a phenomenal job at it. And these are true, these are true stories that they're representing. This takes place in the early 90s of Los Angeles, and we around the time we did have riots like that going on. This is what LA looked like. This is how the crack epidemic affected all of us here on in Southern California on the West Coast. Like, it was this bad. This is based on true stories and true events. So absolutely, we love how it's still even being represented now in Grand Theft Auto 5. Now they base it on modern times, where you can go play Grand Theft Auto 5, go to Los Santos and listen to Big Boy on radio while rolling through, San Andreas. So it's just something that, it part of my childhood, just like yours. Like, it gives me so many, and you're right, there are certain times where I can roll through LA and be like, especially with you now, like, I don't even say, like, I say I'm in Los Santos now. I'm not in LA, I'm in LS, so it's definitely one of the greatest memories of my childhood. I was in high school at the time, playing that game. I was stuck on it.
I think we're maybe the same age.
What was do you have like a favorite mission or a favorite character even in the game?
Yeah, I loved Ryder until I found out he was the big.
Yes. Yeah, exactly, that part.
I was so hard because I was a child. I mean, you have to understand that in Ukraine, those types of games, they arrive way later. I played it first time in 2010, I think. Or 2008 or 9, I can't remember. Yeah, so, and you have to understand, I was such impressionable, you know what I mean? And I literally lived through all of those missions, and I was so sad when Ryder, I felt betrayed. And
that twist on the story.
Yeah, next day I went to school so frustrated, as if it's happened to me, Yeah, so I loved Ryder's character before, prior to him being an asshole. Also, I really love how, who else? For some reason, I loved the members of organization with the turquoise bandanas in San Fierro.
Oh yeah,
okay. They've been kind of comical, and especially after I've learned Spanish, I sort of watched them speak on YouTube, so now I can understand what they actually been saying when I was little. Yeah. I love I hate, so I could tell you missions that I absolutely hated. It was Zero.
Oh, Zero, yes. Zero. I hate all of his missions.
I hated his missions.
And I think a lot of people felt the exact same. That feeling's, mutual amongst so many people. Like, to this day, I have people telling me, you read the comments even, they hate me. Oh.
And one of the favorites was with GZ and his club affairs.
The pimp,
yeah.
Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy. I'm glad that he got to be a part of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas as well. That was he's hilarious. That's a comical character right there. That was a lot of fun.
I absolutely love those missions. And also I loved, which I want to make in real life, and I really hope and pray I will do it this month, because I'm about to go on this trip. So if it will be possible, because time, I have to work, and you can't just do whatever, and I couldn't take a vacation to be free, so I will see if I could do it. But this drive between, if you could recall it, between San Fierro and Las Venturas, Las Vegas. So the drive from San Francisco to Vegas, there's I absolutely loved those desertous. Hoover Dam. There you
The
go.
Hoover Dam, yes, that would.
Hoover
Yeah.
Dam, and the drives through the desert, and then when he picked up those two drunk.
Oh, the two
one
drunk guys.
Yeah, one English, two drunk English dudes.
Yeah, you got to go all the way up the little rock mountain thing and go pick them up. Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
That sounds like, actually, yeah, that sounds like fun. And I loved, like, I just loved, I can't even tell you, my heart was so full when you sent me the video when you drove down the Grove
The
Street
CJ
block.
house.
CJ's
Let's
house.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Well,
Let's
yeah.
talk about it. Yeah, I googled it really hard because LA traffic. I got acquainted with LA traffic, so of course we stood there for like
I'm sorry about
hour
that. Mhm.
and 45 minutes, I guess. We've been moving really slow.
Yeah.
I'm not the driver, so I can't name the intersections. I don't really understand. What is this? The car thing. I need to learn how to drive. Yes, I know. It's just not common in my country. It used to be not that common. I don't know about now.
But you made it happen. You got down to Grove Street.
So I had enough time to Google it, and it was a cul-de-sac that's located in. I'm not remember where. I could only send you the map. Where we found it, and it was confirmed location, and that's his house. And it looked really small. I saw people there. I thought like, okay, so now we're gonna get shot. So I literally ducked and pulled my phone out and started filming just in case, because there was like a family of people, and they've been staring at us like, why? And by the way, this car is red color.
Oh,
So
you had
I don't know whose neighborhood am I driving into in a red collar. Maybe I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to.
I'm glad that you. Yeah, I'm glad that. Okay, go on.
Yeah, and it didn't stop there. I went through not all, but almost all the hoods of LA,
Mhm.
from Watts to Slauson to South Central
Yes, you
to
did.
where else? Inglewood.
Ooh, okay.
Of course, we went through the Skid Row, which is that is where all the visuals were.
Yeah.
Because like you want to get some sense of adrenaline when you're young and dumb, of course. You go to the hood, you want to see what is going on, because we drove all through each and every hood.
a red car.
Understanding the consequences, but I wanted to see this for myself. All this because this hood culture is very glamorized in East Europe. Very glamorized. What I'm saying is, I'm telling you, if you go there right now and tell them where you from, actually, where you from, you show your follow-up, you show your profile, people will come to you and tell you, wow, how much would cost for you to be my guide and take me to the hood and show me real hoods of LA? I pay. I guarantee you that. It's like an attraction. It's so much glamorized in our countries, you have no idea. What everybody was trying to look like a gangster. It was so funny. On them, of course. You see Ukrainians trying to look like, it was hilarious.
No. For me, it's funny because like anyone who's actually from the hood, like we'll tell you, we'll do anything to get out. We work to get out. We don't want to be here. Like we want, if anything, all of our hard work, all of that hustle is to give us and those we care about a better life where we don't have to be considered a statistic. We don't have to deal with these types of struggles that you say that they glamorize. Like
they're insanely glamorized. They have no idea what's going on.
I can tell you right now, being a gangster is something that happens to you. Nobody ever woke up one day and decided, hey, I want to be a gangster. This is something that we felt like we had to represent, that we had to go through and endure just to survive the conditions that we were facing at the time. This is not something that we glamorize. This is something that when we talk about it or you hear about it in hip hop songs, this is our scream to the world. This is almost our cry for help. We're telling you our pain, our struggle, or what we have to deal with on a daily basis. This is, you know what I mean? I understand that people do look up to certain gangsters. I'm one of them, but not because of what they were, what they became afterward, what they survived, what they were able to live to tell us now and teach us from their experiences. But you're saying this
as an adult, but as a child, that looks all so cool to you.
Oh, I mean,
no, not in the United States. I mean, outside of the United States. Oh, no. I'm talking about
to us too. But you're right. To us too, like the youth of America, even those who didn't grow up in the hood were trying to do the same thing that you're saying that they're doing in Europe. Like the people in the suburbs who were living in mansions were trying to come out acting like they were from the hood, and they were trying to, you know, like it was funny. Like you came from so many different privileges, but you know, you want to represent where we're struggling, where we're out here trying to survive just merely day to day. Like, but no, we understand that it looks a certain way to those outside looking in to where it looks cool. But like, if you were to speak to anyone who really came from this, like those even their favorite rappers who really grew up, you know, in the hood, they'll tell you that the reason why they wanted to succeed in hip hop or anything at all is because they wanted to get out of the hood. Like this is not something that we chose.
I could relate to that, but in another way. Because I am unprivileged. I may be privileged with specific ethnicity and specific time and space, right? You know what I mean? Where I'm getting with this. But I'm unprivileged with the passport. So you do everything you can. You're trying to be somebody useful for the country or anything, so that you can get out from your own upbringing. And as those who do that type of journey, where do we go first? In the hood. That's the irony of it. Right. The first place I got here in Chicago was in the hood. I just didn't know it. And then I learned, and then I understand the atmosphere, the pressure, the need to always look over your shoulder. I got scammed, of course, but as somebody who just came to the US, which was an unpleasurable experience, but I learned. And the sense of danger, especially as a woman, I have a different category of danger. But I felt it. And also, I would say that you will not find out that not through music, because music still gets glamorized, even if artists really spilling out their pain into lyrics. As long as lyrics sound really like great, and the beat is amazing, it's a great mixture, puts you in some certain vibe, you really don't understand what it is. You still it's still what's happening somewhere else with somebody else, and so. But when podcasts are emerged, right? So with the podcast, now we can actually really listen to people's stories. And there's a podcast that's Chicago local. It's called Trenches News. If you know. So I found out through his account, I found out about Trenches News. And Trenches, what he does, like he's like all OG already. And so what he does, and he's like streaming news, like a news not from the TV only, but like the real news. About people dying, who shot who, why, because like he's from the inside, not from the reporters who arrive and see the scene, from the inside.
No, from the people themselves, absolutely.
Yes, the voice of the people themselves. And it scares me sometimes when I go to his streams, and sometimes like I'll be working and listening to some things in my ears, you know. Honestly, yes, it's terrifying, it's depressing, it's sad, it's scary. And that's how you really understand what it's like being there.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, you like you had pointed out, you know, I've been, you know, out here working with some people who I'm definitely honored and privileged to be working with. So, and I'm and I meet new people every day. So if I may say, you know, I know what greatness truly looks like, you know, and I see a lot of it in you. And I know that you're like definitely, you know, there's something that you want to be successful at. And I just wanted to know what do you feel is your overall purpose, and what is your personal goal that you would like to achieve or obtain, and like in what area would it be?
Um, Let me ask you first. Did you figure yours? Did you figure yours? Did you figure a purpose? Do you feel like you live in your purpose as of today?
As of today, I feel like I've lived in my purpose, but like as far as personal goals, there's still so much more I want to do. There's so much more that I want to achieve. There's a lot of, like I said, I'm still not where I want to be, but I've still
But you
come a
know
long
exactly
way.
where you're going, right?
Yeah, so I'm not complaining. Like I can overall, like to me, like I just want to be, and then you know it's crazy. I never really just said this out to the public or into anyone really. I just want to be happy. Happiness is just the most simple thing that I feel like I can try to achieve, but I know that's up to me. I feel like my purpose in life, I'm definitely living in it. But my goals and my purpose are like two completely different things. Like I'm, you know, my goals are like I'm obviously gonna reach for the stars. So there's still so much more that I would like to accomplish, and I'm gonna continue to work for it until my last breath. But still, like we were saying, what's most important is those moments in between when you're working for what you want, where you just go out and breathe for a second, just go enjoy and live, like, and we'll go to the
Yeah.
beach, we'll go, you know, we'll go to you know, wherever it is that we find, you know, everyone has that, you know, that one place where they'll go to be alone, to find, you know, their own sanctuary, their own, you know. So for overall, there's things that I want to achieve, but I feel like my purpose I'm living in, but it wasn't like you said in the bitch. It wasn't there. It was on a personal satisfaction that I wanted to achieve, and I'm doing that as we speak. Absolutely.
Awesome. It's a great moment because as you speaking it out loud, I feel like you can hear your own self saying these words that yes, like I am exactly where I want to be. Yes, I live my purpose. And does it feel amazing, isn't it?
It's
Feels
it's
great. Because it's good to give gratitude to things that you have already achieved.
I can
Especially
say it's a different experience. I will say that I never said that out loud, but I definitely say that, you know, I'll be more evolved after this conversation for sure. So thank you for this, you know, for another, you know.
honestly, it's just, yeah, I am just following the vibe, really, and the vibe is great. So because you ask like really in-depth question, so, and I feel like you know exactly why you asking that, and probably you reflecting on your personal journey. And I would also like to add that there's nothing really better than living your purpose, no matter what it is. So to me, it's always changing, and I couldn't even figure it out until I would say recently, you know, because when all your life you're focusing on just one thing, and when you finally get there, you're like so hungry, you want all of that you see. And to me, that comes to when it comes down to traveling. Like I felt so much restricted in travels due to my passport, and then finally I broke free, and then I'm able to do all that. And you have to start building your foundation, right? You have to do something with your life, and at this point you just drop everything you ever known, and just to like a hungry child go to all these places and eat. I don't know how to explain. Of course you learn later that this is an energetical exchange, and if you take something you have to give something back. So always go in a place with good heart, pure heart, good energy, love to the people, love to the place, to culture. Give something of yourself maybe your new perspective, maybe your good energy, lift somebody up today, just however way you could give back, or trading something, you know. So that's what I've learned in my travels, and I realized, oh wow, so I found my purpose is those experiences, and probably sharing those experiences with the world. And of course, it was actually to get here seemed impossible. So when you work so hard to get to somewhere specific, that the moment you getting in there, you don't know what to do. Okay, so what now? Like, I so much did not believe this day will ever come. I so much did not believe that, hey, I finally will be here. I'll see Los Angeles. I see this movie industry. I finally can be like, okay, now with this inspiration, I could get into my passion and do something of my passion, you know, which is to me it's filming. Everything that's come down to creating films or animations or something. Just movies. I think movies are incredible creation. So you want to be close to that, but I just never believed that this will happen. I actually didn't believe they will let me in. The way I even, like, I don't know, it was just unreal. My experience was unreal. And once it happened, there was a moment where, like, you travel as much as you can, you explore, and it fills you up. But then what's next? There's got to be next. You got to have more goals, right?
Right.
So, and then I took a time off from doing anything to just figure that out. No, I did not believe I'll be here. Now you have it. Now it's time to do all that you put deep in a box and buried under the ground. Those things. It's time to do those things, you know? So I would tell you that, okay, so of course, right now it's very basic. Like, I need to go through all my bureaucratic processes here in this country, and as well as get the bread. First time, get the real bread in America. Hello.
Of course.
And then you have to find a way how you give back. So, but besides that, I also have a hobby such as like my books. I want to release it. I want to. I'm not aiming to film a movie. I feel like it comes with networking, those type of opportunities. But what I feel like I could do, just like everybody else on YouTube, I could put it in something animated. Maybe it will blow, maybe not, who knows? But what I've learned, and I'm sure you learned this way before me, but I've learned this pretty much not long ago, it really does not matter what you do as long as you show up, as long as you try. Okay, fine. You do your earnings, you spend your free time on your passion, on your hobby, right? It's not like I'm like dropping everything. If you could afford to drop everything, cool. If you cannot afford to drop everything, whatever. But as long as you try, no matter how you feel like, oh, everybody else is doing it already, somebody already done it before me. I mean, there's Facebook was first before Instagram, but Instagram is now more of a thing. Facebook is dying down. Then there was TikTok. You know, it didn't stop them creating an app. Uber didn't stop Lyft. Or who was first? I have no idea. I'm sorry. And
no, it's
yeah. So I feel like, okay, I got wild ass stories, not just mine, but I've been collecting stories throughout my whole life. You know, you could, if you maybe I don't have that talent, but I don't know. But if you have, let's say, good skills of composure, you could compose the stories into something interesting. Why not to try it? If it's not blow, I'm not gonna be hurt. Whatever then. So yeah, so far that's
but you got it out, yeah. Anyway, I know we're running out of time right now, so
yeah.
I think it's perfect, you know, that we end it right here. But
yep.
You and I will definitely be in touch, you know, where there's still so much more that we could speak about, and I'm looking forward to doing this again. Thank you so much for your time, Miss Anastasia.
Thank you for your time. You actually here is a celebrity, and and I'm just you're the host, but you are a celebrity as well.
But you know, still all the same, you know, like I said, the reason why I had to ask you that is because yes, it did help me reflect as well. But like you just always seem so free, you know what I mean, whenever you're displaying, you know, your point of view through you know, social media. But so thank you, you know, for allowing me to, you know, see it all through your eyes, you know. And we'll you know, we'll be sure to follow up again soon. But
Sure.
take care. And just like that, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank
We
you.
out.
All right.